Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, this is going to be a today's topic video, and this one is for tomorrow, or at least tomorrow where I'm at. So, tomorrow is the 2nd of September. So, we'll get into this and we'll just see what the message is. What's the big energy for the 2nd of September? I don't know why that just feels really exciting. Okay, we have Eight of Cups. The message is that someone is maybe trailblazing, maybe someone is walking a different path, maybe someone is going to be pursuing whatever is right for them. Wow, we have the Tower. Somebody's mind is clean, refreshed, open. They're very like willing to just see what happens next. They don't have a predefined idea of how it has to go. No, they're on like a fact-finding mission. They might be more intrigued to learn something new. This is about keeping an open mind on the 2nd of September. This is a character who needs to just kind of could be a divine feminine, could also be masculine, doesn't really matter. I don't read fictional stories for genders, but we certainly have this forward motion, this action taking, this energy of I'm going to go someplace new. I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to meet someone new. I'm going to change what I do, where I go, and how I behave just a little. Not so that it doesn't still represent me, but I'm going to do things different so I can get a different outcome. Monique B, so great to see you, sweetheart. We have an Ace of Cups sideways. This is a character who's saying, maybe I'll even try something that I don't know if I'll love it or not, but I'd like to see. And I want to keep an open heart. We have a Two of Pentacles, and we have the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, this is a day for exploration. Let me do something that I am unsure if it will grow on me. Let me go out on a date with someone I don't know yet and see if I could fall for them. Let me say yes to something that I previously might have been like, well, that's unfamiliar. Should I try this? You know, I like the fact that we have a character that is broad-minded enough. We got a King of Swords. Oh my gosh, it does not matter what deck I am using today. I'll tell you, I've never seen a King of Swords come out so often as I have today. So maybe it's just like as a whole in all of my storytelling, we have like a peaceful energy, an open-minded energy today, and we have a thoughtful energy. Like every video that I put out today, even though technically this one is for tomorrow, it still comes across with this mindful, divine masculine energy, someone who is being fair, someone who's being unbalanced, somebody that is stepping out in life to better themselves, to be willing to walk away from what is the sure thing. Wheel of Fortune. This is a character who is very willing to perhaps trust in the universe for a change and say, I can't actually see what comes next, but I have to go ahead and I have to move forward anyway. And I have to trust that the universe is going to have my back. If I'm going to do something a little brave, if I'm going to be open to the unfamiliar, I don't know, this feels like a leap of faith. But it's the leap of faith is not the Fool card. It's not the person. It's more about a spiritual sense of trust. That's what the leap of faith is. I have to believe that even though I've never done this thing before that I'm about to do, I'll figure it out as I go. Page of Wands. They could be driving someplace, going someplace that they've never been, and they're like, I'm going to have to stop and ask for directions. I'm just going to pay attention. I'm going to try to remember the route, or I'm going to try to, because I feel like this is someplace they haven't been. Are they trying to locate something and they're debating, where do I think I should go? I mean, this feels like somebody who doesn't know what to type into their GPS navigation system. Am I going after a heartbreak? I don't know. I won't know until I get there. I only know I'm walking away from what is known, and I'm willing to learn, and I'm willing to trust in the universe, and I'm letting go of a place that didn't feel abundant anyway. And really, I think I'll have the skill set, and I think I'll be able to land on my 2 feet. But where I'm headed next, I'm not sure how it'll all work out just yet, but I'm taking the action anyway. Eight of Wands. This is This could be somebody where the big step forward, they could be, I feel like it's physically moving and leaving a place, but it also feels like they are, sending a message, connecting with someone, saying words that they need to say, expressing themselves in a different manner. What is it that they want to express? Or, is this them claiming their own, like, this is my adventure in my life? Wow, Six of Swords. It's definitely them moving forward, moving away from a time of isolation. You wouldn't think it would take a lot of, we'll say, courage to move away from something that was unhappy anyway. But I think this is a nice reminder that it does still take courage, even if where they've been is lonely, even if where they've been has been, at like a deficit, it was still what they knew. And it takes courage to walk away from anything, like an animal in a pen who's lived their whole life in a cage, and they may hate being caged, but then when the pen opens, they're like, I've been so conditioned not to leave my pen. I don't know. How do I do this? So it feels very much like this is a brave thing for this king to do. A king we don't usually think of as being in some kind of a pen or a cage, but obviously they've had a lot of unhappiness, and kings can have their sorrows, just as much as any other character, no matter what maturity level. No one is immune from heartbreak or loneliness or any of those things. But he is doing a brave thing. He is changing his life pattern, and he is taking action to let go of a way of life and to be open to what comes next. Poetic Justice. Hi, sweethearts. So good to see you. We got a Four of Pentacles. Okay, so could this be that he is headed towards someone who's on the other side of a fence from him? Is he going to someone's home and he doesn't know if he's going to be received? Is he leaving behind some kind of lonely existence and he's moving forward and possibly arriving to try to speak to someone, and he does not know what kind of message he'll get when he arrives? Is that it? We've had this story coming up a lot too. Whatever it is, this character is doing the brave thing. So I'm cheering for him. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Ace of Wands. Oh gosh, it could very much be whatever his trials and tribulations have been. He is making the brave choice to change his circumstances. And if one of the first big brave things that he has to do upon making these life changes is to go and bravely face someone that either, we see a feminine here with dark hair. If there is someone that he needs to talk to, someone that he obviously cares about, someone that he hopes to have a chapter of love with, but someone who in his pain, he may have inadvertently caused her pain as well. I can see why there would be like, I could be just headed for a brand new heartbreak. If I reach out to her, if I try to go contact her, if I try to see her and she wants nothing to do with me, it will hurt badly. This king is brave enough to face that I don't know what my reception will be, but I still need to go ahead and do this. Why, King, why do you feel like you need to do this thing? Not that I disagree. I think it's great that he's following what he needs to. But Six of Cups in the reverse, 10 of Wands in the reverse. Come hell or high water, the thing that he must do is to lay down a big, huge burden. He's got to know the answer to this. This soulmate energy, is it over? Because I think that there was some, look, she's on the other side of this fence, and my impression is she's the one who's withdrawn. If they have to try to knock on her door figuratively or literally, even though she said, I've withdrawn, I don't want to talk to you when I sever our soulmate connection, this says that's a very painful thing that happened between the two of them. This has bothered them endlessly. This is not something they can leave it just like that unless that's really and truly what she wants. But let me ask this, why was this connection severed in the first place? The Death card, because something needed to change. something needed to change, and it might have been hurt and pain that needed to change. So she severed this. Oh my gosh, poetic justice, thank you so much. Thank you for your generosity, you sweetheart. Thank you everybody for being here. Broken Bee for Bliss. I'll say hi properly at the end, guys. But she was the one who was coming out wounded. And I'm gonna say she had to close this chapter. She had to end it because she was left out in the cold anyway. So she might have said, don't call me again. This is the end of the line for us. I won't be hurt by you anymore. Now keep in mind, wherever they have been has been quite without growth. They have been deeply lonely. So no matter where they were, if they were trying to patch together some kind of family drama, it didn't work. So they've been in a place without any kind of support themselves. They've been in a place where they didn't have balance. They've been in a place where they were isolated and lonesome. This has not been a good run for them. But admittedly, if they were still remaining someplace because they couldn't walk away from whatever that mess was, this is them walking away for the first time. This is them finally making the change. And the thing is, if they remained someplace that was that, unsatisfying for them, but the byproduct of that is that they were leaving her out in the cold. And as a self-preservation act, she had to tell them, don't come near me again. I'm done. We're not soulmates because you're not around. And I can't be with somebody who keeps causing me hurt and pain. I can't hold the door open for somebody that's not walking through it because you're staying wherever you're staying. So I withdraw. And she has withdrawn. And I kind of think that this is why they're saying, God, I don't know how this is going to go. I'm going to reach out to somebody who has every reason not to talk to me because I caused her hurt. But God, her refusing to speak to me, especially now that I finally am walking my own path and my feet are taking me to her. But if she doesn't want to talk to me, it's going to be a massive heartbreak. The thing is, they've already caused her hurt. So I kind of think that they are clear-minded enough to know this could go either way. This could be devastating if she won't speak to me. But admittedly, it's however it goes, they're kind of the ones who started this situation. They have an apology to make. This is a very humble apology, but it's also very, very, very true. We see them as this little fish in this teacup. This is a truth. So it looks like on the second, we simply have a character who has decided to do something true. They need to say what they need to say for the first time ever to a character that they caused grief to. They themselves are finally walking away from some grief, and they are concerned about the outcome. Now, let's say this wasn't about love and romance. Let's say this was just time for, let's say, friends to patch something up. And it's like, I'm sorry, I know I wasn't there for you. I was completely consumed in my own stuff. I left you high and dry. I finally have settled my own life. Maybe they were consumed with something toxic, addictions, things like that can also consume a person. And then they kind of leave people out in the cold that care about them. That's what the scenario feels like if we were to look at it from the bigger spectrum. But this is them sincerely having an apology and wondering what will happen, because it will suck badly if their apology is not accepted, if there is no opportunity. We have a King of Swords again, but this time we have a feminine king. You know what I feel like? I feel like maybe we're dealing with two Libra, Gemini, Aquarius individuals, or we're just dealing with two people that are going to have a very real heart-to-heart conversation, a very serious, maybe the bigger message here is that on the second, it's time for calm, humble, truthful communication with anyone that characters have been in conflict with, that have, that when there's love, but there's also been hurt, perhaps it's just saying that on the second, it's a good day to clean out energy. It's the beginning of a month. It's the beginning of, it even kind of feels like we're moving into fall, if you're in the United States. It's not exactly, but it has that air to it. We have a little change in the wind a bit. And maybe the change in the wind now is to have truthful, open communication. No more hostilities, no more just suffering in silence. I think that's what the big message is, rather than this having to be like, oh, it's about this, this little duo and this love affair, or this, potential romance, somebody going back to someone. I would look at this as, let's try to do things different. Let's try to speak truthfully. Let's try to meet each other with honesty and integrity. We have a 7 of Pentacles and we have a Queen of Wands. This sets the tone for at least the next 7 weeks, if not the next 7 years. What I feel like I love about this storyline is that if there is a change on the wind, and that's how we began this story, right? We began with a change on the wind, 8 of Cups, somebody walking a different path, somebody having the courage to learn new things, somebody having the courage to change, because usually the things that we are more willing to change in life are the things that have actually become really uncomfortable. And I definitely think that this has been quite sad and quite uncomfortable. And finally, at long last, it's time we have growth. It's time we have, like, let's get things brightened up. Let's do things that make our characters feel better. Let's have these characters do things that make themselves feel, like, finally I'm taking my life in my own hands and I'm speaking words that are true. And gosh, it's building my personal confidence. No matter what the outcome is, it just feels like I can look in the mirror and respect myself, because I feel like I'm living an authentic life. And I think that begins with, maybe these characters, or certainly the King of Swords, kind of starts this ball rolling and being more authentic. And I think that allows them to feel better about themselves in the long run, even though it's like, oh my God, that vulnerability could be so scary. If you put your heart out there, it could get stomped on. You could have somebody be, mad at you, say, I'll never forgive you, blah, blah, blah. But that's just not the energy in this. I don't think anybody wants to harbor horrible emotions toward each other. I don't think anybody wants to, go all, ragey on each other. I think this whole storyline says on the second, it's a beautiful opportunity for any interaction to be governed by, like, the higher self saying, I can see this person's coming to me in vulnerability. I'll match them. I'll really hear them. I'll really listen to where they were at, what went on in their life, what's gone on in mine. How does life shape us? Sometimes, we don't have the courage that we need to have in the moment. Sometimes that courage comes later, after we've been through a few more things, or after we've actually even hit rock bottom. Sometimes that's where we find our greatest courage to make change. But it's just very nice to see that this sets a tone for, like, restoring confidence. And I think both characters feel more attractive after this exchange, and there's a chance for real growth. Now, could this be a relationship that can get back on track? Sure. But I think more than anything, this is a story about, can we change things around when we've been kind of down at the bottom of the barrel, when we've been unhappy, maybe we haven't liked how we behaved, maybe we haven't been very open-minded, we haven't grown in a while, and now it's like, I have to do the brave thing. I have to fix some stuff if I can. I have to be more authentic from here on out. I want to have a better outcome, and I want to have better interactions with people. I feel a strong sense of kindness coming through this, but it definitely gives hope for a connection to be restored if there is that desire for, like, respectful, communication between people. That's really nice. Crystal Suzanne, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. You're so generous. Dwayne Weathers, great to see you. Speaking of generous, thank you, Dwayne, for all you give. EM, thank you also. Poetic Justice, thank you also. You guys are so amazing. John Schultz, thank you for the good birthday wishes. It was fantastic. Nora Al, thank you. You sweetheart. You even sent me birthday cakes. I love it. Heather Cowdrick, hi, honey. Thank you. Hi, Sabrina. It's been a really great week. Jessica Sweezy, hi, honey. Nice to see you. Aries says hello. And thanks again, Monique B. You were first in the house this evening. All right, you guys, take care. I still have to get to 2 more zodiacs, but it's time I go take Mr. Aries out. So I'll be back a little later on this evening to do Gemini and ophiuchus and a single storyline. You guys, thanks. Hey, San Juanita, thanks for being here. All right, you guys, I'll see you in a couple of hours. Mwah, take care. Thanks, guys.